Good morning, Leeds United fans. So it is the morning after the night before, and it feels a lot better than Thursday morning did after we lost to Stoke because yesterday at home at Ellen Road, Leeds beat Huddersfield 4-1. There are plenty of fans out there absolutely buzzing, and there are some fans who are a little bit disappointed, believe it or not. It's always going to happen. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to reflect on the entire game and my opinions on a few key topics, a few things maybe to look out for, a few things that maybe a lot of people are talking about in the comments on social media, and we could just get stuck into them. So first off, I managed to watch most of the game yesterday because I was working on my pop-up shop up in Scotland, but I caught most of it and I've watched back the extended highlights this morning. So I've got a pretty good view on what happened. I want to get into a few key areas. The first area I want to talk about is Jorginho Rutter, because this man, I don't know, he makes me happy watching him play football. I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but watching him play, it's exciting, it's entertaining, you want the best for him. It's not just the tricks and things that he pulls out, it's how he's linking up play from a defensive position to an attacking position, and then he seems to be everywhere. It was him who set away the first goal yesterday. I think it was his pass through to Somerville, and he's just all over the pitch, and defenders are getting scared to play against him. He is almost unplayable at times. Farke said that in the post-match press conference. I love to watch Jorginho play. And yes, he might not be bagging loads of goals, but it's not about that. It's about goal contributions. It's about getting goals from all over the pitch as well. Farke talked about this a few weeks ago when he was asked about the whole Jorginho and Pirro thing. And it's not all about the golden boot. It's about multiple players scoring multiple goals, and we're starting to see that. Well, we're already seeing that. I almost want to relate the whole Jorginho situation to Gruev a little bit. So obviously Gruev made his debut earlier in the week, and maybe it wasn't the time for it, but we had to see him at some point, and a lot of people were very negative about it. Compare that to how you felt last year about Jorginho Rutter, who was a young player who was coming from a new country, learning a new style of football, and everyone wanted him out of the club. So just think about that when you're slating other players when they're making their debuts or they're not quite playing how you want them to. Just maybe a little patience is needed sometimes. On to the second topic of conversation. This is quite a big one because it is about Somerville. He played unbelievable again. I think he got to about 58 minutes today. He scored 2 goals, assisted 2 goals. Phenomenal performance. And there are a lot of people out there saying, told you so. Told you Farke was wrong for dropping him. Told you Farke should have played him. But maybe Farke was right in not playing him. Would we have seen that performance if he'd have had to play a full 90 midweek and maybe picked up another knock to his shoulder, or even worse, a muscular injury or more cramps that he's been experiencing? Maybe because Farke managed those minutes, he was able to play well today, and he's going to fully recover, ready to play well against Leicester next week. The manager's always looking that 1 to 2 games ahead in terms of managing his squad. So I'm not saying Farke was right or wrong. However, I'm saying maybe the performances we saw from Somerville partly come from the fact that he was rested a little bit. Because he didn't have that much pre-season, he maybe didn't have the fitness to get through 3 games in 7 days. And Farke said, you know what, no matter how good you're playing, I need you all season. And the way he played yesterday, we need him as much as we can this season. So if it means resting him every now and then, that's what we've got to do, because Somerville is going to be critical this year. I have been a little bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say negative towards Somerville. Same with Dan James. I've criticised both players because I see that they have a higher ceiling. Same with Nonto right now. I want to see more from Nonto. You know, when you watch players and you think they could be really good, and we're seeing some of their potential but not all of it, it's the same thing, and we're allowed to do that. A few weeks ago, a lot of people were saying to me, Dan James is smashing it, he's unreal. And I was like, no, he's playing okay, but there's more. There's definitely more. And what we're seeing now is that more, and he's getting better and better. And that's what I'm saying. We don't want to settle, okay, he's playing okay football. No, we want him to play the football we know he's capable of. He's a 20, 30 million pound Premier League level footballer. He should be standing out in this league, and now we are starting to see that. Also, while we're on that topic of players with a high ceiling, a high potential, we know Joel Pirro is a very, very good footballer, a prolific goal scorer, but we're still having some people are still having the conversation about where he should play, where Jorginho should play. I trust in Farke, and yes, he scored a lot of goals at Swansea, but he was the He was the man at Swansea. Whereas now, look at all these players. Look at all these brilliant attacking players we've got. He's an integral part of a whole system. And he'll have his moments where he bags loads of goals, whereas the other ones will have moments where they do as well. So I'm okay with that. I'm all right with Pirlo maybe not getting the goals that people want him to, as long as we're getting goals from all over the pitch. That's what we want to see, right? We don't want to see one player scoring 25 goals this season. We want to see multiple players scoring 15 goals and more. So I'm happy with that. Next up, I want to talk about our defence, starting with Sam Byram, because Sam Byram, we got him for free. What a player he's turned out. I think he got 58 minutes today. I think that was good management of his minutes because we know about his injury record. And the more we can get out of Sam Byron, the better. The value for money is obviously through the roof. Unbelievable to see. And while we're on that, Ampadu, by the way, have we made a better signing? Like, the price that we got him for as well and the quality showing week in, week out. Between Byram, Ampadu, Strauch, Rodon, I'm so happy with those defensive players. On Rodon, yes, he went off injured. It's a hamstring injury, but it's looking like it's minor. Farke sounded fairly okay that he could be all right for Leicester. If it is a hamstring injury, you know pretty quickly whether it's a twing, you know what grade it is, and that'll get graded very, very quickly. And hopefully he can recover from it within the week. I'm not sure. I maybe think that he won't be available for Leicester, and in that case, who steps in? Is it Cresswell? Is it Cooper? And on Cooper and Ayling, I think we all know where we're at with them. There is a very, very big difference between the old guard and the new guard. And I saw, when I talked about there's some fans that still aren't happy, this is what I was related to. On social media, there's fans saying, oh, it was a flat second half, the drop-off was this, it was that. It's going to be like that. Obviously, you lose motivation when you're 4-1 up and you're cruising. It's just one of them, and you've just got to take that. You tell me we're getting a 4-1 home victory after losing midweek. Yeah, I'm taking that. There was some booing of Bamford. Don't agree with it. Don't agree with any player hate. I'm not a Bamford defender, but I'm just like, if he's wearing a Leeds shirt, I'm going to get behind him. Do you know what I mean? It absolutely does not help when people are negative and boo him. Like, how's that helping him or the club? So the next topic for me is basically, let's look where we're at. Like, look, we've had new owners, new manager. We got relegated poorly in a really terrible couple of years. We lost 9 players out on loan. A lot of them we didn't want to lose. Well, I don't know. It wasn't ideal losing, or the way we lost them wasn't ideal. We had players on strike. We had, all sorts going on this summer. But Farke came in, he handled that situation so well, and we're right up there. We're bagging results. Yes, we've lost 3 games, but that's going to happen. It could have gone so much worse. Let's be honest, I think we've made a brilliant start. The Birmingham one was the only disappointment for me because we just weren't ready for that, and that's just what happens. The transfer window, it was all messy. But after that, we're building, and people are still doubting Farke, and people are saying, Leicester are doing this, Ipswich are doing that. Fair play to them. Let's be honest, Leicester are on to do incredible numbers if they carry on. And Ipswich, who saw that coming? Fair play to both clubs. We cannot make those clubs lose games. All we can do is concentrate on ourselves. And if those two carry on the way they are and score over 100 points, there's naught we can do about it, okay? I think constant comparisons, oh, we're doing this, but just enjoy watching your club win games. That's where I'm at with it anyway. I trust in Farke. I trust that we are building something. And when we're ready, we will go back to the Premier League. But I don't want to get promoted before we're ready. And yeah, if those two clubs outplay us all year, fair play to them. I'm not looking at that table yet. It'll shake out how it shakes out. And on to Leicester. If you made it all the way through the video, I appreciate you for watching these videos, interacting with them. Let me know in the comments who your man of the match was and marching on together to Leicester.